The last time I evaluated the Thor G70, I was still wondering, how did you cross 60 and come directly to 70? As a result, today Thor G60 he came. After all, no one stipulates that the name of the product must be in order. Oh, it turns out to be named according to the price. The controller supports PC, Switch. The packaging of the 4 platforms of Android and iOS is still relatively environmentally friendly. In the box there is a handle, a cable, a receiver, instructions. And the official price of 299 yuan still exceeded my expectations. I don't know if the handle is worth 299 yuan. How is it used? First of all, let's take a look at the appearance of this generation. There is still a big difference from Thor's other handles. The Thor G60 shell is made of ordinary plastic, comes in black and silver. The face is mainly outlined by silver and black lines. There is also an RGB light bar decoration at the bottom of the handle. Why do you feel that the color scheme of Thor is more fancy from generation to generation? I actually have another concern. I just don't know if silver will wear out and lose color after using it for a long time. The back grip does not have a square slip texture, and the texture is quite delicate to the touch. There are a total of 4 customizable expansion buttons on the handle, all on the back of the handle. How to say it? This appearance is very perfect. How many points can you score? In terms of feel, the handshake feeling in the hand is still okay. It's just a bit of a light-hearted thing. Only 203G Xbox controller with battery. 288G Switch Pro handle 248G. Thor still feels a little cold. Although it is lighter, helps reduce hand fatigue. But this weight is too light. In terms of buttons, ABXY adopts a conductive alternating micromotion scheme. The cross arrow also adopts a micromotion scheme. Both the back and shoulder buttons use mechanical switch solutions. The position of the back button is relatively low. There is no risk of accidental touch. However, the performance in terms of feel is relatively average. After all, for the back button, it is really difficult to touch and be comfortable. A perfect balance is achieved between the two. The key travel of the ABXY and reticle is a bit short. The feel is better than simple micromotion or conductive glue, but it's really not as linear as the last Thor G70 handle mover. The swing force is relatively small and the interval is relatively short. The feel is really average. This time, Thor has made certain innovations in the joystick. This joystick can be pulled out in height. Rotate 45 degrees before installing. Then the joystick gets higher. It is still very convenient to change directly when playing FPS games. This design is quite good. Compared to other tree stalks, the replacement scheme is much more convenient. At the same time, Thor also intimately sets 3 function buttons at the bottom of the handle. The turbo button can quickly set up bursts. According to the needs of the players, you can set up both manual bursts and automatic bursts. Vibration adjustment. There are 4 gears in total. This is still very necessary. In addition, the G60 also has a light adjustment button. The RGB light bar at the bottom of the handle can be adjusted to connect out of order. After experiencing several games in the experience of playing the app, I found that the vibration of the handle is a bit weak. While playing, it often gives me the illusion that I am not vibrating. Here we want to express it, this burst button. If you want to shoot continuously, click settings directly, and if you don't want a burst shot, click cancel again. Next, let's take a look at the tuning of the software. Thor G60 is also used third-party tuning software. In the Clinker app, you can change the key settings, adjust the stick dead zone and the trigger build. It is also convenient to record red operation, adjust the light, and change the vibration intensity of the motor. Next, let's talk about the adjustment handle of the joystick. The dead zone with 10% has a center point, and the dead zone does not have a cross-shaped dead zone. The entry of the rocker edge movement is not a pure prototype either. However, this does not have much impact in the game. The error rate of joystick circles is about 8%. The advantage of this kind of tuning is that it can be pushed to the edge game, which will definitely trigger the run. Playing everyday games with the default settings is no problem. If you are playing an FPS game, you need to go to the app. After adjusting the dead zone to 0% to no dead zone, you can see the center point. There are no dead zones or movements. Here I would like to remind you of the real dead zone model. Drift occurs in many games. At this time, we can add some dead zones to the game, or add some death to the joystick in the app to perfect the game. This level of polishing of the Thor G60 can be said to be suitable. Playing all the games is very good. Finally, it came to the much-anticipated disassembly link. The handle of Thor's house has always been particularly difficult to remove, and even the hammer was used last time. This time I also learned to be smart, and if I can't take it apart, I won't have to work hard. under the guidance of Raytheon technicians. Finally, the front shell of the 6 screws on the back of the handle was disassembled. There are 2 screws underneath. After disassembling it, can be seen that Thor's workmanship is still very neat. Components such as the motor battery are equipped with a socket scheme. The battery compartment protection is no longer as rough and direct as the G70. There is only one PCB inside the fixed handle attached to the motherboard with tape. The motherboard thickness is 1.2 millimeters. Now most handle factories use 1.6 millimeters PCB. To be honest, 1.2 is still a bit thin. The motor adopts an asymmetrical rotor, which is more common in line segments. The motor trigger also uses a more accurate Holtz hard trigger rocker. Alpine is still used. The last time Thor G70 it was directly bent at the true corner. And this time the G60 also carried out a welding machine. This attitude is still very good. However, there are still a small number of solder joints on the motherboard, and there are residues of the pig welding machine. Overall, this dismantling really brought me a lot of surprises. Because of the problems mentioned in the last Thor G70 bookcase, this time all of them have been improved. The battery compartment rocker pins have also been soldered. The handle of the G60 can be seen. Thor's progress and improvement in craftsmanship is really commendable. This time Thor G60 in the design of the joystick cap, in terms of rapid adjustment of continuous vibration and the tuning of the joystick, all of them are eye-catching. After dismantling the machine, before the internal workmanship is consumed, great progress has also been made, which is worthy of praise. If Thor officially can improve the feel of the buttons on the lower handle, then this handle will bring a good experience to users. After understanding all the details of the handle, then this Thor G60 is the deputy director of the climate at a price of 299 yuan. Do you think it's worth it?